Hi everybody, this is Gail. And you remember this? This is that blend that we did when I was showing you the rainbow twist that was on this egg. Well, I want to show you that you don't have to cover an egg. There are other things that you can cover that are just as pretty and just as nice, and just to show you how versatile this design can be. So what I'm going to do is, and I think I'm going to just roll this up so that the same colors roll onto the same colors and make it into a tube or a log or whatever you want to call this, and just roll it a little bit. Make sure that you've got no air in there. Now I'm going to extrude this in my Lucy extruder, and this is going to be too long. So what am I going to do? If I scrunch it, it's going to be too fat. So I'll try just doing half of it at a time. So I'm going to cut this in half right in the middle of the blue. So now I have two logs, but that's okay. And there's air in this sunset pearl end, so I need to make sure I get that out. And I'm going to put this into my Lucy extruder, and I'm using the Lucy extruder just because it's going to be a long snake, and I just don't want to have to crank my Macon's extruder that far. But anyway, I'm using a small circle disc. It's not the smallest, but it's not the largest. I'm going to make it kind of small. And let me put it in here and insert it into my drill. And tighten it. And where's my little gripper? I had it out just a little while ago. And where did it go to? Oh, it's on my leg. Okay, so I'm going to extrude. I'll put that there so you can see it, but this is using my drill. And you'll see it when it starts to come out. There you go. And just extrude, and you'll see the pink is going to be first. Then it's going to start getting darker. Okay. So that's all of that one. Let me take this, cut this off. And let me remove this from the drill. Now with the Lucy extruder, with the Macon's extruder rather, or the Walnut Hollow extruder, you need to push the, need to crank the die, the little push thing back to the other end. But with this one, the one thing I like about this, let me just get that clay off, is all I need to do, well, I do need to undo this, and I should have done this while it was in the, it's not very tight because I loosened it. Let me, just like I said the other day, I never claimed to be a mechanic. Well, I never claimed to be. Oh, I think it's because I don't have it going the right direction. I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to turn it manually. But you need to just pull this back, and it's the same thing. Like I say, if I'd kept it on the drill, I could have just reversed it out. But when this comes back, it doesn't push the little plunger back. But because each end of this is the same on each end, all you've got to do is take it out leave that plunger there, and then you can screw this in the other end. And now the plunger is at the bottom again. And we just continue, go this way because I want the blue. And then we just continue just like normal. See? And I will put it, and I'm going to go off frame for a minute to put this in my drill, because for some reason I have a hard time when it's not in this position getting it where it needs to be. Okay, now I need to make sure it's going in the right direction. Put my little grip here. Now this time I am going to reverse it while it's still in here and just pull this back. So now the next time I use it, all I have to do is just move this to this end, put this on this end, and just keep on going. But we're done now with the extruder. So I'm just going to lay that down. Now I think what I'm going to do, since I couldn't do it all together, is I might, instead of just twisting this, I think I'm going to put the two together. Put the two together. I'm just going to pinch this end a little bit just so it'll stick. And then I'm going to twist this way. I'll start with my hand, and then you can start rolling and twist this way until you get a tight little twist. This way you'll have more than the one color like it extruded. And just, this is going to be pretty long, so it's going to take a while. And since I film in real time, you might want to just fast forward a little bit. I never did tell you what I was going to do. I'm going to make a little bowl, little dish. It can be a dish to put beside your sink to put your rings in. It can go on your dresser to put coins in. You can use it for just about anything, but I usually call it a ring bowl. And I may not even twist all of this at one time, just because it's going to be so long, it's going to be hard to handle on my desk. So here's what I've got. I've got a little glass bowl that I bought at Dollar Tree. This is one of the bowls that I keep my scrap in. And it is about 3.5 to 4 inches around. And now this is where you make a decision. I told you I showed you on the egg that this has been mashed. And it's flat and shiny. Well, that's going to happen with the side that you put against your bowl. So you have to decide whether you want the outside of your bowl to be smooth or the inside of your bowl to be smooth. Well, I want the inside to be smooth because I don't want the roughness on the inside to interfere with whatever I put into my bowl. So I'm going to put this on the outside because, like I said, what goes against this glass is going to get slick and smooth. So if you wanted the outside to be slick and smooth, you would do the same thing, but you would start in the middle, on the inside of the bowl instead of the outside of the bowl. So what I'm going to do is just make a little coil with my hands at the end and kind of press it down in the center of your bowl, and then just start twisting the bowl. And then you can twist this rope as you go to keep it the size that you want it, and just keep turning just keep going. See, it's not a real slow process, but it's not very exciting either for you to be sitting there watching. Let me turn a little bit more of this. Now you don't have to put the two colors together. If you want to start, like in this case with the sunset pearl, you could just do the solid sunset pearl and then let it gradually change colors as you come out. Let's see, I'm twisting this way. Let it, you know, just change colors naturally. But since I had to do two different snakes, it wasn't going to be a consistent snake. That's what I really had wanted to do. This is getting a little uncontrollable here. Let me twist a little bit of this so I can have more to work with. Might have been easier to twist more at the beginning, like I told you I wasn't going to do. See, we all learn together. But this idea came to me as we were working the other day when I said I was going to have to find another use for this clay, and this just came to me. The problem with twisting it like this is while I'm twisting it this way, the other end is twisting in a different direction. So it's working against itself. So I would not do this in the future. I would go ahead and twist it all before I start putting it on. But I've already started now, so I will just keep going. Just make sure that these all kind of go in together because it needs to stick together good and you don't want any holes. And then I'm going to do this until I get to this lip, and then I will go off camera and finish it so you don't have to keep watching me battle this twist. But you get the idea. But I just wanted to show you how to go around this when you get to the lip. And this is getting really tightly twisted the opposite direction now. I need to untwist it, or it's going to start sticking to itself. Sorry, I got quiet, didn't I? Well, it looks like this is going to break anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and just clip it off. And let me get all this twisted in the right direction. In fact, I'm going to have to clip this whole section off because it kind of messed itself up. You see, even experienced clayers run into problems, and I am always running into something. But I do want to show you that, you know, there are ways that you can fix what you've done. Might take a little longer. If you did it right the first time, if I did it right the first time, then maybe I wouldn't be having this problem now. But I'll know better next time, won't I? Roll it on your table. Okay, now I'll start right back where I ended and just keep on going. So if you do get it to where it starts to tangle on itself, you can cut it and then fix it and then just start back. Now this is where it's beginning to go curve down. So this is, you just need to be kind of careful along here, because this is, if it's going to start coming apart, this is where it's going to come apart. So you just need to make sure that this clay is stuck well to the round above it. Otherwise, when you take it off your bowl, it's going to just crack right along here, and you don't want that. That I do know. So let me do this. And I've done this, I've made filigree, or not filigree, I don't know what you call it, where you do different designs with twisted clay or extruded clay and swirls and everything. I mean, I guess it's sort of a filigree. But just as you go along, just again, make sure this is sticking, because I can see where it's coming apart already. But once you get over this part right here, it's not going to be quite as difficult. There, it's gone down over the edge now, and again, just keep going back and pressing it up so that it sticks to the row above it, so that you don't run into that problem. And I'm going to stop the video here, and I'm going to continue. You just keep going the same way we've been going. You're over the edge now, and again, just make sure everything is stuck, and I will be back when I get closer to the end. Thanks. Okay, I finished wrapping, and now I'm just going back around and making sure that everything is stuck together and that it's as even as you can get it. You will find that there will be little waves in the top where it may not be perfectly even, but it looks okay. It looks pretty good. If you do this way, there's a little bit of a dip there, but it's not enough to make any difference. But look at that. It almost looks like it's woven, doesn't it? Like you get these reed baskets. You ever been to the South, to like South Carolina or Georgia, and they have people on the side of the road selling these reed baskets? This is what they look like, only you made your own. Now, like I said, this one, there's the inside. And when this bakes, it's going to be smooth and slick. But you can also look on the inside and see little holes. See along here? You might want to close some of those up as much as you can. But you can see there's a hole here. And I'll just press that a little bit with my thumb just to make sure that gets closed up. But it's really, you know, I like working with glass because you can see it from both sides. So I'm going to pop this in the oven. You bake it at the manufacturer's suggested temperature. This is Primo, so I will be baking this at 275 degrees. And I think I've told you before, I always bake things for an hour, just to make sure it's cured, it's strong. If you bake it, one thing about clay, and I know people try to make shortcuts and bake it at a lower temperature for longer periods or whatever. If you do that, you stand the chance of your clay not being fully cured, and it may be brittle, it might crack. There are different things that could happen to it. So if it says to bake at 275, be sure you bake at 275. If you're afraid that it's going to burn, put a tent over it. It can be aluminum foil, it can be a file folder, it can just be anything. What I use is the aluminum little pie pans, the little square ones that are shallow, they're only about an inch deep, I just turn that upside down, and then if it's something tall like this, I can just bend it. But I always tent what I put in the oven, and that I haven't burned anything yet. The only time I burned anything was when the temperature spiked on my old oven. It's when I decided to get a new one. But I just think this is so pretty with the pink and the blues. They kind of blend into a different color. The blue ends up being green and the pink ends up being purple, and I just think that's really pretty. So I'll be back after this is baked and we'll take it off the bowl. Okay, I'm back and my little bowl is baked and it's cooled off and it's still on the glass. I just wanted to show you taking it off the glass, and you can just nudge it a little bit along the sides just to kind of separate it. And just work your way all the way around and loosen it from the glass. You may want to take something that will not cut the clay, like this little kidney, and just kind of go down inside and go around. Because if you remember, we made sure it was attached here on the bottom. There we go. Now, I don't know if you can tell or not, but see how shiny and smooth the inside is because it was next to the glass. Now this does have a little bit of a different effect than the egg, and it's because instead of twisting each individual rope, I twisted two together, so you don't get these little lines like there are in this. If I had extruded a continuous snake, and I would have been able to do that better and just twist the individual. But this is my little bowl. I think it's going to sit on my dresser. I need something to put my jewelry in that I take off at night. But it's just really easy. So don't ever throw away your scraps. You can throw scraps into an extruder and come out with something like this. You can put the metallic clay in it like this was, and you can twist it. And another thing about scraps, I always keep my scraps, and I keep my little heart die, my heart cutter here, and this is the end of that black and white cane. I ended up doing 3 hearts for heroes, and I'll just continue doing that. I've just got bags of them here. I need to make new cards. I don't have enough cards to go into the bag, so I'm just putting them in here until I print new cards. But when I get an envelope full, I'm going to be sending them off to Linda Weeks. So if you get a chance to make any hearts, you just look at my Hearts for Heroes video and it'll give you all the details. But anyway, I'm real happy with my little bowl. Now, you don't have to use strips, but this was just something that I thought would look pretty with the pearl clays. And it does. It's got a real nice shine to it, which I'm sure you can't see there. But again, there's the middle. But there you go. This is my polymer clay bowl. Okay. I will be back again with something new soon. So hope you enjoy this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. And again, if there's anything you would like to see me demonstrate, or anything that any questions that you have, please just send me a comment, or you can send me a message. I check them several times a day, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you have. I'll be glad to consider doing demos for things that you might want to do. But have a great day. Stay cool. If it's hot where you are, it is here. And I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.